Hey, Kat Chancellor here with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to put together these pop-up cards. They fold, and they're about I believe they're about 5.5 by 8, and they're easy to make. There's no dies that are needed. And here you can see I made this one kind of using the daisy card. We're going to make this beautiful card right here. It is a pop-up card, and I'm going to be featuring the beautiful balloon set. They've got lots of nice dies. This particular pattern I stamped myself, but for this card we're going to be using the DSP here that comes with this bundle. This is the Bright and Beautiful DSP. So we're going to be using that DSP to come up with this. The colors that are featured are going to be, I believe this is Moody Mauve. I'm using some Fresh Freesia, some Bubble Bath, and then some Misty Moonlight, and you'll also need some acetate for this, for your stand-ups. You're going to need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock as our base. This is going to get cut down to 11.5 by 8. We're also going to cut several panels. I have a back panel that I've already cut that is going to be 3 1/4 by 7 3/4, and all this information is going to be on my blog. We're going to have a little front panel that's going to be 3 1/4 square, and then we have the panels that are going to go around our box, and you're going to need one that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then two that are 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. So those are the pieces and parts that we're going to need for this card. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have my piece of cardstock that I cut out of my 12 by 12 piece, and again this measures 11.5 by 8. I'm going to grab my scoreboard here, and we're going to score this. We're going to score this along the 11-inch line. And we're going to start by scoring at 1/2, 2.5, 6, and 8. We're then going to turn this so that we have that 1/2 inch piece that we just scored. We're going to turn that to the top, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to 4.5. We're going to score all the way down to this line here. We're going to skip over that line, and then we're going to turn this around so that this line here lines up with the 4.5, and we're going to do that one there. So this large piece here does not have any scoring on it. It's just these two edges. So you can kind of see it's going to look like that. Now I did draw a pattern for you. So if I laid this out on this pattern, you will see that, let me lay it down this way. We have a long piece here, and then we have this short piece. We have this long, this is our back. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this piece out and this piece out, and this is what's going to create our card. So let's just grab a pair of scissors, and I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and fold and use my bone folder here just so that you can kind of see the folds. Okay, so this piece right here is the piece that we're going to we're going to cut out. So I'm just going to go up to here with my scissors. I'm cutting right along the line, and I want to be careful because this will show. Okay, and I kind of cut that a little bit over, and you really don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to cut this, and I'm just kind of bending it towards me so I can kind of see the fold a little better. And I might grab my little precision shears here and use these to kind of cut. Okay, so this creates our box card right here. This is what's going to create it. And we're going to, okay, so that's the box card, and it's going to line up perfectly just like that. Now, one of the things I failed to mention is that we're going to need you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock, and I grabbed, when you cut I just kind of have an extra piece here. So I don't think these are exactly, no, these aren't going to work. Okay, so we're going to have to get this piece here. Let's see if I can use this. That's 4 1/4. I need 4 1/2. So we're going to need 3 pieces . 4 1/2 by 1 inch. So that's 4. That's not long enough. We're going to have to do it this way. So I got 4 1/2 right there. And I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut these 1 inch. So 1, 2. I need 3 of them. 3. Now I'm going to have to score. I'm going to lay them out here, and I'm going to score these at the 1/2 inch and at the 4 inch. What I'm basically going to build are the little slots that are going to go inside our box card that we're going to use for adhering our balloons. Okay, so I have those three right there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just going to fold these back. Okay. Now we're going to take, this is our back of our card. We're going to grab this, and we're going to glue this, and we're just kind of going to go down, oh, maybe 1/2 inch. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to glue that right there to align with this fold line. And I'm just going to grab some glue that I have here, and we're just going to go ahead and put that right there. Okay, and let me go ahead and okay, you can see that's where I have my glue. I'm just going to go ahead and just go down, and just place that right along that edge, and I'm going to fold that like that. I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to put some glue on one of the tabs, and then I'm going to line this one right next to that one, and I'm going to fold this one, and it should, they're going to kind of line up on top of each other like that. See how that goes? And then I'm going to take my third one and we're going to do the same thing. Put that there. And we're just going to hold that, let the glue. Now you can see I have these three flaps are right there. So what I'm going to do here, because I'm going to use this piece, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put glue here. I'm putting glue on each little tab here and here. Then all you do is you fold this over, and we're just going to kind of let that piece dry with that glue. And then when you open it up, you can see we kind of have, there we go, we have our little box card. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my pieces that I cut, because this piece is going to go here, and then these two pieces are going to go along the side, and then this piece is going to go right there. Now, one of the things I can do is I'm going to go ahead and grab and this is my back piece here, and that's going to slip right into there. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Cut emboss machine, and I'm using a embossing folder, 3D embossing folder called the Time Worn Type. I'm embossing the back panel and I'm embossing the front. I think it's about 3.25 square panel. I'm then going to go ahead and use all my different cardstock colors, and I'm going to die cut my balloons. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use some of the press and seal, and I'm going to arrange them on my cardstock, so that all I have to do to cut all these pieces and parts out is I'm just going to go ahead and lay that on top of the cardstock, and it just comes out very nicely. So this is a good tip for kind of speeding up your die cutting, and it also allows you to have plenty of pieces to make several cards, which is what I'm going to be doing at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all those pieces out, and you can see it adds for a really nice selection of balloons. The next thing what we're going to do is I'm going to cut out some stars. The dies for this particular bundle come with two different sizes stars, so I'm cutting them out using some silver foil. It also comes out with a label die, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out using some basic white cardstock. And finally, I'm cutting out some of the last of my balloons using my Moody Mauve. So now that I have all those pieces, I'm going to bring in my my box card, and we're going to go ahead and start to assemble by adhering all the different panels to our box card. I'm putting the back panel there, and I'm using some of my Fast Fusion glue. These are the side panels with the DSP. And why I like this particular liquid fusion glue, you can use either your multi-purpose glue for this as well, but I just kind of like it because it's it dries stiff, and it gives your these larger card projects a little bit more body, a little bit more stiffness. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm adhering the front panel. So now to assemble the card, I'm going to go ahead, and another reason why I'm using this glue is that if there's any glue that seeps out, it will not dry tacky, and that's really important when you're trying to put seams together so you don't have any of the glue kind of oozing out. Now I'm kind of arranging the balloons that I want to use. This is totally up to you how many. There's plenty of colors here in this particular selection that I've cut, but I also have cut out some balloons using some of the silver foil as well. Now there is some really pretty iridescent foil paper that's in the annual catalog that is also would be another good choice to use. I didn't have it available. I did order it, but it wasn't available for this particular card. So you can see how I'm using 3 stars. And I'm using a large balloon. That's going to be my kind of like my center balloon that's going to go in the background. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use some white embossing powder to emboss one of the sentiments, which is Happy Birthday. Now you can also emboss other sentiments, because this set comes with a number of different sayings like "you did it," "hey you," "so thrilled for you," that is just would fit very nicely for this kind of card. Now I'm pulling in my my shaper kit. This is my Sizzix shaper, and I'm just going to kind of go around all my balloons, because I'm going to give them, by shaping them this way, I give them a little bit more of a 3D kind of feeling, so they kind of have that nice round feeling like a balloon. So this is a nice tip for making this card, and just kind of making it stand out a little bit differently, and it doesn't take much time at all. I'm also now going to take my acetate, and I'm cutting strips. Now because these particular balloons are just one piece of cardstock, you can go about a 1/4 inch wide for your acetate strips. Usually when you have, when I did some of my flowers that were several layers of cardstock, I wanted to go at least a 1/2 inch. Now here I'm using my my glue dots to adhere my balloons. What I found in some of my previous projects when I used my glue gun is that some of the pieces actually kind of fell apart. So now I'm going to try some glue dots for adhering my cardstock to my acetate, and I think that will work nicely. I'm also going to use them for adhering them to my box card as I assemble my arrangement. Okay, so now that I have all of those pieces put together, I'm going to grab, and I'm still cutting out pieces because I'm just trying to make sure that I have a good color selection. But I'm pulling in my my Wispacella just to kind of give some of my balloons a little bit more shimmer to my project. I'm pulling out here so you can see that Mittens decided that she wanted to join me, and while I was putting together my card. So I'm just going to let her, because she just likes to sit there, and I'm going to go ahead and assemble as best I can, and while Mittens observes me and whether she approves or disapproves. So when you're putting your arrangement together, in the back I adhere the largest balloon, which is, and then I begin to kind of arrange the second largest kind of in the next piece, and I'm just going to play some music so you can kind of see how I go ahead and put that together. But it's really fast work, and it's a lot of fun. So there you have it. In just a few steps, you can create this wonderful little box card. Very simple. There's no dies that are involved. I think is one of the simplest ones I've made, and this is all thanks to Sam Calcott of Mixed Up Crafts from the UK. Hey, if you haven't already, please hit like. All my products are available in my online store. There'll be a link below. Go to my blog for any of the project details, and if you're looking for a demonstrator, please consider joining my team. There's a special offer in the month of June where you get some extra products for $99, so consider joining as a hobbyist to enjoy a 20% discount. You can also see that this card is very adaptable. I made it using the beautiful daisy dies that were featured in some of my earlier videos. So this is a great card to use for all kinds of occasions. Please support my channel by hitting like and share and leave a comment, especially if you're a demonstrator. I know I have a lot of demonstrators that follow my channel and they use my projects for inspiration for some of their workshops. So please support so I can continue to provide content as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator myself. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. Happy stamping.